Look what I found! Look at this exposed video!
Wings. Wings never changes. Since the dawn of Richard, he has been crying and blaming all of his life's problems on anything but himself due to narcissism and gluttony. Years on, Richard's life has become an uninhabitable abyss of Pepsi Cola and Wendy's chili boxes. It was in this modular home Wings was born. And it is here that Wings will die, because in Trailer 101, no one ever enters and no one ever leaves. Because Wings never changes.
How old is this dude? Like, realistically, how old is this dude?
Death, over-engagement with the topic, has caused it to have a disproportionate influence both on my community and on the way people outside of my community perceive me and my channel. The second main reason I've been hesitant to make this video is because experience has taught me...
Alright, boys. With everything going on in your life right now, especially if you're this guy, right? You don't think you take the little Raggedy Ann doll and the anime statues behind you down before you make this video? You don't do that?
That generally speaking, if folks want to hate you or distrust you or whatever else, it's pretty difficult to convince them otherwise. Sometimes, if you're unpopular enough, even if you've got a good point to make, just the attempt to change people's minds can come across as kind of self-incriminating. You actually ground them further, already have. You know, it's one of those deals where the people who need to hear it won't listen, and the people who will listen don't need to hear it again. Let's get right to it then. Let's not waste time. What am I actually talking about? Well, I hate to drop this on the people who just innocently watch me for my political content and don't engage in any broader community drama. Some folks online have called me a pedophile. Now, this in and of itself isn't actually that noteworthy. With the political climate being what it is, folks are getting accused on Twitter left and right. It's pretty common. But some people have called me this way more insistently and a lot louder. So why? Remember how I said self-defense can come across as kind of
You might not have caught that. But what he just did was an edit to try to, like, persuade you. Like, let's go back 15 seconds. Watch this. Watch. This is something you do in editing software.
Being what it is. Folks are getting accused of being pedophiles on Twitter left and right. It's pretty common. But some people have called me this way more insistently and a lot louder. So why? Remember how I said
when you drag into the face like that, it brings the person to be more personable to you, right? It's something that tricks your brain to be like, all right, I identify with this person. This is actually a Hollywood and like advertisement trick he did in the video to basically make you feel sorry for him. Like, it's a persuasion tactic. It's something that he went into his editing software, because those zoom ins, they take like 2 or 3 minutes to do.
Louder. So why? So why? So why?
Because those zoom ins, they take like 2 or 3 minutes to do. 2 or 3 minutes to do.
Why? 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 Why?
It's not like so he sat with this in his editing software and goes like, how could I make this look better? Right?
Self-defense can come across as kind of incriminating, even if it's accurate or well-intentioned. Yeah, even though I've gone over all this before on stream or in videos, I wasn't exactly jumping at the bit. It's a rough subject, is what I'm saying. You know, that's one of the reasons why it's so effective as a smear, of course. It's just an incredibly difficult subject to engage with. So let's not waste any more time. We've got a lot to go through. What then is this video about? What do I have to say, and why do I want to say it? What are my goals in making the video? Well, the gist of it is this. I usually do so while presenting pieces of evidence, often clips from my live streams that make me look bad. Clips from my live streams that make me look While I do think that a lot of the claims and pieces of so-called evidence used against me range from being uncharitable to outright dishonest, the fact remains that I have said some incredibly stupid shit on this channel, especially really early on, like right when I started streaming, and I don't fault anyone for seeing clips from that and being suspect of me. You know, I wasn't doing myself any favors, I'll say that much. For a lot of them, such as the ones where I'm making a point that is overall good and like uncontroversial, but I do a bad job of making it, there's nothing for me to really like debunk, you know? It's not a takedown. It's more a matter of charity. You know, I have to go and look at these clips and explain, what do they mean? You know, what was I thinking? What was I saying? Is this clip like so dishonestly cut that, you know, no reasonable person would interpret it as looking bad if seeing the full context? Or was I saying really stupid shit and I'm going to have to like work to explain what my thought process was at the time? And past...
Can I say something here? Like, explaining the context, I've tried to do that multiple times. It doesn't work. It's best just to ignore it. Like, and it's not, and like people want to go and point out, oh, your silence means guilt. Like, no, here's the problem. No matter how many times you can apologize and say like, yo, not every single person will see that. And people come in at different times, different places, and then they want to talk about the same accusations over and over and over again, to the point where it gets to the point it's best to ignore it. Because if you ignore it, it falls out the algorithm, it goes away for the most part. But like, then you have people that just want to keep it in the algorithm, so they keep sharing it, and then they try to get other people to like, look what I found, look at this exposed video, when it's something that you've apologized for multiple times, you know.
At that point, it's up to other people to either believe my charitable explanations or believe significantly less charitable ones. I don't know. They're transparently bullshit, a lot of them. I feel like you would have to already dislike me to read anything from them. But, you know, a lot of it is that, so I need to sort of point that out, too. So, as far as I can see, there are 4 groups of people that I'm addressing here, more or less. The first group is my core audience, the people who have seen me address this and provide context for this and deal with this bullshit a million times. For a lot of them, all of this is a repeat. The second group of people is people who just hate me. I really don't know if there's much I can do to get across to those guys. I would like to. I really do think a lot of the hate is misguided, but ultimately that's up to them, right? I'm not magic. The third group is the mass of disaffected, disengaged, entertainment-hungry drama vultures who are just here because they think it's fun to watch people squirm. I see you. Well, welcome. A lot of this really has been like thoroughly addressed before, though, so I don't plan on doing much squirming, but there will be lots of self-debasement. So to you and to the people who just hate me, if you want to see self-debasement from me, there will be that. So you can look forward to that, I guess. Yeah, and I know that even making a video like this can come across as pretty damning, just innately, but I really do hope that you take it seriously.
I'm not going to respond to this whole thing. It's just like 2 hours long. I just want to get a gist of it.
Because it is a pretty serious topic. And last, the fourth and maybe the smallest group of people watching this video are people who are genuinely neutral, or maybe coming in with that fair mind to see what all the drama's about. Or maybe they're from the normie side of my audience, and you know, they don't engage with the drama and the community stuff that much. I don't know. This will probably be a weird one for them.
1 hour and
nonetheless, 8. Welcome. It's a pretty wide range.
Well, at least he broke it down, explaining child labor.
But I'll do my best to explain things and go through all the drama in a way that's clear and really straightforward, but also doesn't drag on too long. Now, without further ado, let's get to the content.
Right.
So after all that, now we finally arrive at this most recent drama, the incident that lit a fire under Drama YouTube and is, to my mind, the only thing I've done in the past 4 years that actually looks bad. So there I was, streaming a few weeks ago, browsing a men's fashion site. I wanted to look at an image more closely, so I right-clicked.
No, I want to take offense to this. I hate the fact that every time a man is designed to look good, he has to be in like a 3-piece suit, right? To the point that it looks like every man in the room is a penguin, right? Like there's no there's no differentiating. It's like, oh, you got this color suit or that color suit. I remember when Obama wore a mustard colored suit or a tan suit, and it was like so like outrageous that it made the news, right? Well, that's a denim jacket, but the what he was looking at was like dudes wearing like 3-piece suits.
To open the image in a new window, but then accidentally instead click the Save As tab in the right-click drop-down menu. Now, because
I'm also chilling at my house,
extensively demonstrated in this video, my preferred strategy for keeping my desktop clean is to keep a single big folder called To Be Sorted, where every image, document, music file, whatever I happen to download gets sent. This is an insane...
I'm glad he brought this up. Let me show you my desktop. All right, let's go to properties. Let's change over to my main desktop. And you guys can see what my desktop looks like. All right. It literally has recycling bin, has Only Us, has Fallout New Vegas, has got my Elgato captures, got Firefox, got Diablo. Like, this is what my desktop looks like. Like, literally, I'll click on anything you want. Like, you want to see what this notepad is? This notepad is me and a friend was playing Youngbloods, which is a Wolfenstein game. I was writing passcodes down on a computer for it, right? Like, you go over here in my folder over here, you know, this is Lolcal Podcast. Here's downloads. Like, look, there's a truck picture. Here's like all this other stuff where I do my thumbnails, you know, shit like that. We can go to the documents file. Look, here's like my voice recording for my Dead Space Let's Plays. Here's a thank you letter I sent to Apollo that I wrote out, and then I sent it to Kelly to write. I don't know whose email that is. You know, Sniper Miss, this was me doing something else. Wolfblood Youngblood codes, you know. Maggots downloads, I don't know what that is. Installation manager, don't know what this is. Some shit I fucked with at some point. Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. This is gameplays I have in case I want to do commentaries. I need to do this. Videos ready for, you know, upload for YouTube and shit like that. You know, I get, like, the point's being made, right?
You know, there you go. It's me. So I hit Save As, and a half second later, a preview window of the folder and its contents popped up on stream. So I immediately ended the stream and deleted the VOD, even if it weren't just embarrassing to make a mistake like that. It's one of the largest political live streamers
people were concerned about
on the
image
platform.
5533.
It's TOS.
I'll show it. It's image 5533. It's my punching bag for it.
You got to delete the VOD. So
here's an Abe Lincoln for the
I stream with no delay, and folks are always
viewers.
screen capturing the feed. So I knew the contents of my To Be Sorted folder and the preview window were irrevocably public knowledge. But to be honest, that didn't really bother me too much. It was embarrassing, sure, but mostly because it made me look like a careless idiot, not because I was ashamed of the, like, furry demon monster GF. I had rambled about liking all that stuff on stream before, not a secret, and I thought, you know, maybe, in a way, would come across kind of charming. You know, like, that's my streamer. My community was already making a big joke of it by the time I went live again. Of course, I knew as soon as the folder opened on stream that it would be pretty easy for people to lie about what it contained, to stir up drama or cause me trouble or...
Here's my thought process as a YouTuber. If something like that were to be, I would be terrified of clicking on that because, one, I've seen his little folder thing in it, time to get banned, right? Like, how is that not a thing? Or Twitch, right? How is this not a thing?
For any other reason. So when later on in that stream, one or two people came into chat and they said, hey, there was Lolly in there. You know, I figured they were just causing trouble and I banned them. of course, we know where this is going. By the next day, I had learned from what felt like the entire goddamn internet that 2 of the images in my folder preview window were actually from a well-known lolicon artist, and therefore definitely intended to be lolly, which has to be the worst possible way to find out about that sort of thing. Now, obviously, the accusation here isn't just that I had those images saved. That part's true, not really an accusation, but also that I must have known that they were lolicon and saved them because they were lolicon. Now, the obvious and predictable but nonetheless true response from me is that no, I didn't know that, and that must not have been the impression
I know people watch this. Does he actually address why so they can look at it without like getting, you want to like go behind yourself and like delete all your web browser and like pull it away and hide it in a folder deep inside the Windows registry so your parents can't find it?
I got from those 2 drawings, because if I had gotten that impression, then I wouldn't have saved them. You know, I mean, drawings are abstractions, and art
Versus, he said he wouldn't have saved them if he thought it was lolly. So does that mean that he would look at the lolly and just not save it?
art styles and body proportions vary massively, even for characters that are carelessly or inattentively failing to notice it.
Because there's nothing that beats that good.
Yeah, I know what some people are going to say. You must have known. There's no way you didn't know. And like what am I going to do? Make a evidentiary argument here? You know, like, I'm not putting up the images so we can argue about the pixels or the proportions or whatever. I know fully well that like 99.9% of people who have heard about this drama haven't seen the images, nor do I think those people should go looking for them, obviously. So it's pretty much entirely a take me at my word or don't kind of situation where people are free to lie about the drawings, or, as I've already seen on Twitter, just post other really bad look.
Dude, just imagine like if you're a girl and you have to go on a date with this guy. I could just picture him at Chili's, right? He's at Chili's and he's over here doing this number, right? He's like adjusting like the way his fork and his spoons are set up on the table, and he's like cleaning himself, and then he'll like pull his phone up and bring the camera app out and be like, "Oh, what are you going to school for?"
It's all totally unfalsifiable, and people are going to make whatever assumptions and inferences they want to make. All I can really say is that I didn't notice the problem while saving the drawings, the same way a person could fail to notice any element of any drawing if they were careless or inattentive or distracted. Chat.
Like when he watches like some cartoon horse rail like a 600-year-old vampire, he has to have post-nut clarity. He's got to like sit there in like a stew of his own creation and be like, God, I need help. You know?
Also pretty much immediately clocked 2 other drawings in the folder preview window as being AI art. Something else I didn't notice, and I think...
That's a lie. Consensus has said you are a fan of AI art.
I've done a good job of demonstrating a tendency towards carelessness, if nothing else. So, leaving that stupid, least charitable argument aside, someone might then ask, okay, I get it. It's possible to make a mistake like that. Why then would you save the images? And what about them did you like? And look, there's really no way of saying this without sounding crass or flippant or whatever, but you know, it's already a pretty revealing video. There's actually a very clear and simple explanation for why, for not just those 2 drawings, but in fact all the drawings in that folder,
bud. Give it to us.
And all my porn tastes generally. And it's an explanation that is extremely well known and well substantiated. I'm a size queen. Cool.
All right, first off, Bash, it is what it is, man. I'm down with that.
In a big dump folder literally called to be sorted. That's...
You know, what he doesn't want you to think about is he's saying cool line art while he's got his hog in like one of his hands. I'm assuming his left hand so he can like use the right hand to save the picture with the mouse. You know.
You don't have to know much about anime to know that's an issue with it. Yeah, I find it repellent, but it's possible to find something repellent while also not being perfectly vigilant about it, you know, especially in art where stylization and abstraction can kind of, I guess, cloud awareness and judgment of the extent to which any artists you follow or people in the community might be doing sus.
I think our descriptions of cool are very different. When I'm at Chili's with my date, I don't go, hey, have you ever seen an anime girl get railed by a tentacle? I'm sure she will be asking her friend
of
on the phone
lolicon
to text
means
or
that
call
the
her for an
entire
emergency
community
instantly.
is tainted, basically, right? I don't like the fact that, like, you could be looking through what looks like a bunch of totally, like, normal, fine, cool babes getting railed by big dicks, whatever you're into, you know, while also feeling like you have to be vigilant that in this incredibly normalized process, some of these drawings might be of character.
Incredibly normalized process. Like what step do you want a girl, a cartoon girl, be in mind, getting railed by something that's so large that it would kill a normal female, right? Like putting like spears through hooties and have them come out like their mouth.
That are canonically underage, or that like an artist who generally draws in a kind of like cartoony style might be fine, but then another artist does that, but then they're like actually drawing like they're meant to be teenagers or whatever. I don't like it, and it's a normalization issue, and I think one of the best ways you could deal with it is by being aware. I'm not perfectly aware. This wasn't the first time. You know, after the whole child labor argument saga, people went through a bunch of like likes and
he's
old
like, I'm gonna wear the
Public
denim jacket,
you know, porn account
and the
that I
green
had,
shirt,
and over like thousands of liked
and the SpongeBob tiny whities,
furry big dick monster girl images or whatever. I think they found one that was like the character was meant to be a teenager. You know, like, and it's not surprising to me that that might happen because, you know, I'm running between classes, scrolling on my phone. I look at an image maybe 2 or 3 seconds before I like. The degree of scrutiny required there indicates that this goes beyond some kind of like matter of personal temperance and extends broadly into like, how weird is it that that's something that's been that normalized, you know? Anyway, I don't mean to like make a big point or make it like a broader issue, you know, as a way of pulling attention.
I want to point this out for people in the chat. People are constantly on his beard. Like he obviously is a little like done shaving. Like I am too. Like I need to shave. Like see right here. Like I need to shave. Like my shit's scruffy. It is what it is. I got my businessman haircut going on. Right. But you see how his hair is darker here and then blonde here? That isn't coming in naturally that way. That's a choice. He dyed that. He's like, how can I look like I read books? And he made this choice. Well, he also paid money for these glasses.
I think that's insane, but again, it's not really an evidentiary argument that I can make. So, you know, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I don't know. God willing, anime culture will get better one day. I wouldn't hold my breath, though. So, yeah, that's the long and short of it. I'm sure there are other clips or screenshots or arguments out there that people have thrown into their big anti-me documents, but like I said, I wanted to focus on the accusations that I feel are at least somewhat grounded. If I took the time to tackle all the obviously fake or disingenuous, we'd be here forever, and I think it would take away from the stuff I actually did feel I needed to address.
He says he's done with this, and
walking
there's still 30
that
minutes
line, there is, you know, I don't want to convey the impression that I feel every attack against me is illegitimate, or at least not properly motivated. So yeah, this isn't about debunking a narrative, you know, it's about waving away the most transparently bullshit stuff so that I can focus on explaining the actual mistakes that I've made. And to be clear, it really is a bad argument.
But, you know, a lot of guys in your position who are these kind of like philosophical types, they want to talk about the whole child porn thing and how it's just as bad as...
This is the same dude? What the fuck happened to him? He looks... Glasses... But glasses regardless. He looks 1,000 times better here.
Slave labor, I think, was your argument.
Yeah, so that's one of the...
Oh, never mind. There he is.